In 7.9.2, Inductive Automation introduced a new Ignition platform called Ignition Edge. Ignition Edge is a scaled-down version of Ignition, while still providing a lot of the functionality and features that Ignition offers. With its lower price point, this makes Ignition Edge a perfect candidate for any edge-of-network or embedded applications. Installing Edge is easy. Simply download the appropriate standard installer from our website based on your operating system, and then run the installer. The installer will eventually prompt you on whether you want to install a full Ignition server or if you want to install Ignition Edge. Once you've selected Edge, that's all there is to it, since the installer will automatically install all the appropriate modules for your Edge gateway. Once Edge is finished installing, we're automatically taken to the gateway web page. The first thing you should notice is that the Edge gateway is very visually different than the Ignition gateway. If when you install Edge it does not look different than a standard Ignition gateway, you've probably installed it incorrectly. So you want to uninstall Ignition and then reinstall Ignition and make sure you choose Edge when the installer prompts you to. Now, despite its different appearance, the Edge gateway should feel very familiar. First, the Edge gateway is still located at localhost :8088. The gateway webpage also contains the same three sections: Home, Status, and Configure. Finally, our Launch Designer button, as well as our Launch Project button, are still in the same place. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Configure section and see what makes Edge tick. When we first sign in, the default username and password are still admin and password. Here in the Configure section, we're shown what makes Edge unique: its plugins. Edge has three different plugins: the Panel plugin, the Enterprise plugin, and the MQTT plugin. Each plugin offers specific features that allow you to customize your Edge gateway to fit your needs. You can also mix and match the plugins, meaning that you can have an Edge gateway with a single plugin, or you can have any combination of two plugins, or even all three of them. It really depends on what you need the Edge gateway for. Now, when you first install Edge, it will automatically include the Panel and Enterprise plugins. However, if you purchased an Edge system with an MQTT plugin, you will need to go to our website and download the MQTT plugins from the Cirrus Link section in the Downloads page, because we can't include those modules in our installer. Once you've downloaded the latest version of those modules, it's easy to install them in the Edge gateway, as it works the same way as it does on an Ignition gateway. Simply go into the Modules page and hit the Install New Modules link at the bottom. Understanding what each plugin does is crucial to figuring out which plugins you'll need to add to your Edge gateway. First, we have our Panel plugin. The Panel plugin allows you to create a local HMI for your field devices. It allows you to launch one local client as well as one remote client. The Panel plugin also offers 1 week of local internal storage, perfect for trending, and allowing you to set up a local client fallback, should your connection to the main Ignition server ever fail. Finally, the Panel plugin also offers a one-way email notification for your alarms. Next, we have the Enterprise plugin. The Enterprise plugin provides access to the gateway network, allowing you to make the Edge gateway a target for Ignition's distributed services, as well as allowing EAM functionality, turning the Edge gateway into an agent in your EAM system. With the Enterprise plugin, other Ignition gateways can use the distributed services to query tag values, tag history, and even alarms from your Edge gateway. Turning the Edge gateway into an EAM agent allows you to do things like monitor and manage your Edge system from a central Ignition server. The Enterprise plugin also offers 1 week of internal storage, allowing you to store tag history for up to a week without any database. Finally, the Enterprise plugin introduces something new called Tag History Synchronization. What this does is pushes the tag history saved in your Edge gateway to a history provider on a central Ignition system. That central Ignition gateway will then store that tag history data into its connected database, allowing you to store more than the limited 1 week's worth of data. If the connection to the central ignition gateway ever goes down, that 1 week of data storage internal to the edge gateway will then act like a store and forward system, storing up to 1 week's worth of data and then pushing it back to the central ignition system when the connection is restored. Last but not least is the MQTT plugin. The MQTT plugin essentially turns your edge gateway into a remote MQTT publisher, allowing you to push data directly into an MQTT broker using the fast and lightweight data transfer protocol. The MQTT plugin operates in exactly the same way that the MQTT modules work on a standard ignition system, allowing you to easily and quickly get started. While each plugin offers a wide range of functionality, you may have noticed that in each of these diagrams, the edge gateway is best paired with a central ignition gateway, allowing you to take full advantage of everything the edge gateway has to offer. This is because despite all of Edge's functionality, it is still limited in certain ways to help reduce cost. For example, the edge gateway will only ever have one project. You'll notice that you can't add or import any other projects, and in the designer, you can't create any new projects other than the one that's already created automatically for you. You also may have noticed that on the left here, the database section is missing. This is because Edge does not offer database access, instead opting for the internal 1 week storage. This 1 week of internal storage is used by Tag History, the Alarm Journal, as well as the Audit Log system, and each will automatically be pruned after 1 week. If we take a quick trip into the designer, you'll notice that it looks identical to an ignition designer. However, there are some key differences. First, the Edge gateway imposes a strict tag limit of 500 tags. If you look here in the tag browser, you'll notice I have a folder that contains tags 1 through 500. If I were to then add another tag, you'll notice that it contains a key symbol on it, and it has a value of null. This is letting me know that I've exceeded my tag limit, and I can't add any more tags. I would have to delete one of my other tags if I wanted to use this tag. This tag limit does not include any folders, your UDT data types, as well as any of the system tags that are located in the tag browser. The Edge project also does not allow gateway scripting. You'll notice that my tag event scripts is no longer there, as well as the gateway event scripts in the scripting section is also absent. You are also not able to restore an ignition backup onto an Edge gateway. You can, however, import things like tags and project resources such as Windows here in the designer. That functions in the same way as the ignition gateway, with tag imports happening in the tag browser and project resource imports happening here in the file menu. Finally, the Edge gateways will have a unique license that will only work on an Edge gateway, but it functions in a similar manner to the ignition gateway. You'll notice in my license, under Ignition Platform, I have Edition Edge, indicating that it's an Edge gateway, and I have all three of the plugins licensed. Even though Edge has some limitations, it still offers a lot of the core ignition functionality, allowing it to function like a scaled-down ignition system. Given that Edge can be connected to a full ignition system, Edge becomes the perfect option for a low-cost, lightweight gateway for your edge of network systems.